I need to tell you why we can work on our creative projects, even though we love them. I am a solo developer, but I am also a YouTuber and a blogger. I find showing up to making videos and articles quite easy, but showing up to working on my game is a different story. Don't get me wrong, I love my game and I love working on it. I have the time, the motivation, and the tools, and yet I still struggle to focus and avoid distractions. So, what is the thing we care about the most? Often the hardest things to work on. Hi friend! If this is your first time in the channel, I am Gael. I am a game developer and I am working solo on a survival horror game called Silent Corruption. In this channel, I share my creative journey and all the things I learned along the way. Being a solo creative can be very lonely, frustrating, and confusing. When we see the product of successful artists, developers, and other creators, we rarely get to see the process that got them where they are now. It's difficult to find examples of successful people, beginnings, and middles, and without these references, it's challenging to understand if what we're doing will lead us to where we want to go. That's why I created this channel and also my blog. I focus on topics that will help you feel validated and confident in your own creative journey. I want this channel to be a safe space for you, so you can come here whenever you feel like you're going crazy, out of frustration, and need some guidance. So with that said, let's get on with the video. When people ask me about my game, I feel a sharp tension on my stomach. I often say, my game's going well, progressing slow but steady. This is true, but I still feel like I'm lying. Lately, I haven't been working on my game as much as I would like. I have enough time, plenty to do, and all the resources I need, at least for now. But when I sit on my computer, a lot of days I end up doing something else because I just need to do this important thing first and I'll work on my game tomorrow. Being so distracted is really bothering me. So I've been reflecting about this and I realized that this is happening because of these three main reasons. Number one, I am overwhelmed. First of all, my game is very ambitious for one person. It is big, complex, and full of systems I had never built before. Every feature requires research, trial and error, and a lot of problem solving. Even when I know what I want the game to feel like, figuring out how to actually make that happen can take days, weeks, or months. I know the usual advice is to start small, and I agree with that in theory, but in practice, it has never worked for me. Whenever I try to work on a small project, I lose motivation very quickly because it's just not what I truly want to make. I want to work on Silent Corruption. I am emotionally invested in it and I want to see it through. The problem is that this means every single day I am faced with too many decisions. I need to design levels, write system, fix bugs, make art, think about sound, plan future features, a million things. There is no one else to offload that mental weight onto. Even starting a new task can feel exhausting because I know I will require a lot of thinking and problem solving. For example, making my levels is something I really struggle with because I don't have that much experience with that. As a solo creator, I have to wear many hats. And even though I actually love learning so many disciplines and I am okay with it, that doesn't make the workload easier or magically disappear. Number two, imposter syndrome hitting hard. The second realization is a bit harder to admit. I am afraid to show my game. I am scared that if I show it, people will realize I'm not as good as they think, that I am a fake developer, that I talk about game development and the creative journey, but my work does not live to those words. So, if I don't work on my game, I have an excuse to not show it yet because, well, it was not ready yet. That excuse gives me a reason to hide and delay the moment where my work becomes visible and open to judgment. If nobody sees my game, nobody will dismiss it, misunderstand it, or see all the flaws I am already painfully aware of. As long as the game stays unseen, I won't risk being ridiculed, right? This leads me to procrastinate and get distracted. And that slows the progress even more. I often convince myself that I'm being productive by doing other tasks, even though deep down I know I'm just avoiding working on my game. I understand that slow progress is progress. And I truly believe that. But I can't help to feel ashamed. There is a gap between what I rationally know and what I emotionally feel. And that gap can be very uncomfortable to sit with. Deep down, I know I could be farther along, even if it's just a little bit. And that thought is weighing heavy on my mind. Because I know that fear has been quietly making decisions for me. Number three, some days I just can't work. The third reason is simply that I am not always physically able to work. As I have mentioned before, I have disabilities that cause pain and fatigue on many days, so some days my body just doesn't cooperate. On those days, working on a demanding creative project is just not realistic. I need to rest instead. Logically, I understand that this is not my fault. I am not failing or being undisciplined. My limits are real, and ignoring them only makes things worse in the long run. And I am doing everything I can to manage my health. Resting is not optional, it's necessary. I know that. But emotionally, it is still so hard. Rest days feel like lost days. They feel unproductive, as if time is slipping away while nothing is moving forward. Even though I know these pauses are exactly what allow me to keep going and actually make progress in the long run. So, instead of waiting for everything to feel perfect, I'm just going to show you what I've done so far. This is not a polished, finished version. It's messy, it's a work in progress, but it is real and it is moving forward. So, this is the game engine I'm using. I'm using Unity. Uh, and this is the first level that will be on the game after like the introduction. Yeah, as you can see for now, I'm just pretty much making a sketch of the level, which is what we call white boxing. That's why this is, just bare bones furniture, very simple, just to uh, make sure that all the proportions of, the scale of the furniture is fine, the scale of the room, all that. So this is this room where you're going to start the game, and it's going to be like basically, this is Jane. Ignore her position. That's just for me to test stuff. Uh, so the initial cutscene is going to be like you're going to wake up in this room with no memory how you got here, and you're going to find a note that tells you to not go outside because it's dangerous, and some food and water. And then through here is a simple toilet that again is very simple furniture and whatnot. And well, Jane's have some skills because she had a rough life. So she's going to find some bobby pins to unlock this door that will lead her to go to the rest of the apartment. And from there, just explore what's going on here. So that is, this area is kind of like the tutorial area. It's a safe space. When here, there's not going to be monsters, or maybe yes, I don't know. But initially, it's supposed to be safe. Nothing's going to happen, just so you can just get used to the game itself, how things work and all that. Just learn to play the game. Basically, a tutorial. And so far, obviously, I made the main character. Uh, I already talked about this. It took me like 5 versions to get to this version, this current version that I'm using for Jane's design and her model. And that, of course, is a lot of time. That is roughly 2 years of, or a year and a half to like making different variations. And then as well, I made a inventory system, the survival system, health. You're going to need to drink, eat, sleep, I'm still thinking about if including it or not, if it's going to be safe, but for now it's there. Basically fatigue, not necessarily sleeping, but fatigue, like maybe you need to like sit down and chill, or just take it easy for a while if you're too tired. If you're too tired, you're also going to have debuffs, or if you're hungry or you need to drink, you're going to have debuff, and the other way around, if you're healthy, you're going to move faster, or stuff like that. uh, and also made the interaction system where you can get stuff. There are not gonna be this many apples in the room. There's just testing, and you can pick up stuff, and then it's on your inventory. And the inventory is it's like a grid where you can, every item has a different size, and you can organize it however you want, and you can use it. Supposedly I use the apple, but that's still not implemented. And I still need to implement like the summoning, combining, discarding. Well, discarding I think is no, it doesn't work yet, but it should be working. And then also the door, I made many variations of how the door I wanted to work, because I want this game to lean very heavily on the realistic survival aspect, of course, in the context that this is a game. So basically, the door works now like you click to open it a bit, and you can kind of peek or maybe listen at what's going on, or push it a little bit open. And if you click again, you close it, and you can push it open, you can close it. So it's not like in most games that the door will close automatically behind you. Like if you open the door, it will stay open, So it's a bit more realistic. And of course, to make it easier for the player, it will always open away from the player. So otherwise, it's gonna hit the character, and that is not good. So yeah. So basically, you have this door that is locked, and the next thing I'm implementing is a lockpick system. For now, it's just open the inventory and use it, and it doesn't work. But it should unlock the thing, but it's still making that, so it's not working. Yeah, and now it's frozen, and it doesn't work. Perfect. So yeah, as you can see, it's still a lot to do, but I think the progress is all right. Of course, like to get to this point where I can actually do gameplay, I need to do so many things before that in the background, build a lot of systems, the model, the art, animations. It's just a lot. So yeah, I understand that this is a lot of work, so of course it's going to be slow, but it's still so hard to upset that. But yeah, this is my game so far, and hopefully next time I show it, it will be even better. Even if you have a system, the time, and the motivation to work on your project, that does not mean that it's going to be easy or straightforward. There is this idea that if you truly love something, working on it should feel natural and effortless. And that's just not true. When it doesn't feel effortless, we assume something is wrong with us. This is often why people quit. This is hard, not because you are doing it wrong, but because meaningful work is demanding. There are so many things you have to figure out as you go, and that constant uncertainty is exhausting. We need to make peace with the fact that struggling does not mean we're failing. The most important thing we can do is be kind to ourselves. Progress does not look the same every week. Some weeks you'll move forward really fast, and some weeks you'll just barely stay afloat. It sucks. And it's okay to admit that it sucks. Nothing worthwhile comes without effort, discomfort, and patience. So if you're also struggling to work on something that you deeply care about, I really hope that this video made you feel a little less alone. If this video resonated with you, I have a Patreon where I share even more insights into the creative journey, and when you join the Patreon, you can also join my Discord server when you can hang out with me and other developers, artists, and people that are on the same path as you, so you can feel less alone when you're struggling. And please also don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment because I really like knowing your story, what you guys are going through. And all that helps more than you may think. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to learn more about the reality of the creative journey, you can click on this next video. I'll see you there. Bye!